You have a brilliant prototype. It works. Now, the real test begins, turning this one-of-a-kind creation into thousands. But be warned, you're entering the valley of death, a critical phase where reports show up to 74% of startups fail. The biggest false assumption? That a working prototype is a manufacturable product. It almost never is. This gap is filled with hidden costs, unforeseen delays, and expensive mistakes that can sink a company. This is your three-part framework to cross the valley. Master your design, vet your partners, and bulletproof the process. So what is the single most expensive mistake you can make right out of the gate? It's investing in tooling, the molds for mass production, before your product design is absolutely finalized. This happens because teams skip full performance and reliability testing, assuming the prototype is the final word. Even a perfect prototype might be impossible or too expensive to make it scale. Scalability isn't a future problem. It's a design problem. The antidote to these issues is a discipline called Design for Manufacturability, or DFM. It's about planning for scale from day one. Let's break down what DFM actually means. Why is it the fundamental bridge that stops you from falling into that valley? DFM forces you to ask, how will this be made? The answer determines the design itself. A common example is moving from 3D printing to injection molding. Your 3D printed part can be perfect, with complex internal geometries. That exact design is often impossible to make with cost-effective injection molding. For injection molding, you need draft angles to eject the part. You must have uniform wall thickness to prevent warping. This is a fundamental redesign. DFM also governs material selection. An exotic material from your prototype might be too expensive or hard to source for mass production. So, your DFM is perfected and the design is ready. You're safe, right? Not yet. But is DFM a universal answer for every product? Even the best design can fail if the manufacturing process is flawed. How do you test the entire system before betting the company? You do it with a pilot production run. This isn't about making more prototypes. It's a small batch run on the actual production line. A pilot run reveals hidden issues. Are parts fitting consistently? Is assembly time what you projected? It's your final chance to catch errors at low scale. The pilot run also tests your most critical external partner, your manufacturer, but your success depends on more than just them. The modern world introduces another layer of risk. The supply chain. Geopolitical events or disasters can halt your production overnight. And remember we asked if DFM was a universal answer? It isn't. The best design depends completely on your partner's assembly method, manual or automated. This makes choosing the right contract manufacturer absolutely vital. Look for red flags. Are they vague on costs? Do they lack your product type expertise? A major warning sign is any manufacturer asking for equity or a piece of your intellectual property. Your IP is your most valuable asset. Protect it. Beyond partners, you face regulatory hurdles. Engaging with compliance specialists early isn't bureaucracy. It prevents your product from being blocked from market. With so many external threats and partners involved, how do you shield your core innovation through this entire process? This is where it all comes together. Let's connect the design pitfalls we started with and the strategic tools that get you to the finish line. The answer is treating your intellectual property, patents, and trademarks as a strategic tool. It's not just a legal form. It creates a barrier against competitors. Combine your DFM knowledge with lean manufacturing principles. DFM reduces complexity, while lean manufacturing eliminates waste in the production process. Recall the valley of death from the beginning? Today, AI platforms can analyze your designs for manufacturability, acting as a guide past early mistakes. The successful path forward is an integrated strategy, a product designed for reality, protected by IP, and built with an efficient, validated process. So let's recap the 3 pillars. First, design for reality. Think about manufacturing from your first sketch. Second, vet partners and mitigate risks. And third, bulletproof your process. Use tools like pilot runs, lean principles, and IP protection to build a resilient operation. The path from prototype to production isn't a leap of faith into the valley of death. It's a series of deliberate, strategic steps. It is an engineering problem. What's the biggest challenge you've faced in manufacturing? Share your story in the comments below.